This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome back to, well, we can officially say it, a Stampede edition of Dolynny TV as the Calgary Stampede kicked off officially today down in, well, Victoria Park, whatever, Stampede grounds in Calgary as things obviously underway for what will be a crazy next 10 days in my neck of the woods. But we got some things to talk about when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers today as well. So let's get to that, shall we? Friends, if you're new to the channel, love to have you aboard as a new subscriber here on Dolynny TV. Of course, you see a lot of people already have done that, and I encourage you to do so as you can catch all the latest on the Edmonton Oilers when I get a chance. I'm a pretty busy guy in the summer, but I think I've done a pretty good job this summer of keeping tabs on what's going on and obviously keeping you up to date with some of my thoughts, some of the news, and some opinions as well. So today the Oilers got some bad news on Jonathan Toews. I guess not really that they got bad news. Us Oilers fans got bad news leaked via a Mark Spector mailbag article kind of going over some of the things that Oilers fans are concerned about, goaltending, Philip Zadina, things like that. And at the very end, it was, of course, well, why aren't the Oilers signing Jonathan Toews? That's a thing we should be all over. That's something we've been long rumored to be doing. And right now, nothing is happening. And by the looks of it, friends, well, there is for good reason on that, because Jonathan Toews, who has had to kind of make up his mind on what he's doing with the rest of his career, well, he kind of was excluded from a certain list that kind of matters when you're in the NHL. Oop, that's me. That's me. My apologies. Let's go here. Let's bring that up. I guess that is too small. Ooh, I screwed that up. Okay, we'll fix that later. Let me just delete that and we'll get going. My apologies, friends. I should redo the video, but we won't do that. Of course, the Oilers obviously knew which free agents were available to start free agency, as they usually always do. It looks like something that I didn't know, and this is going to pop up for you right there in the top corner now, is that the agencies, the free agent market gets updates via the free agents, right? The player agents who put out a list of their clients available at the start of free agency. This coming from Mark Spector, by the way. When CAA agency sets out its list of free agents to NHL teams prior to July 1st, the list excluded client Jonathan Toews. His contract has expired with the Chicago Blackhawks. However, as it stands, he is not available to talk to as a potential player for your team next year in the NHL. So now we get back to the Oilers and right, all this hotly contested. Will the Oilers sign Jonathan Toews? They shouldn't. They should. They need him. They don't. Well, now we kind of have a clear picture as to why nothing has happened as of yet, right? We're a week into free agency, no action on Jonathan Toews, not a sniff from any other team, nothing close, nothing, hey, it's trending. No, the Oilers have kind of had a long-standing rumor with Jonathan Toews, and that's really all it is. But as it currently stands, he's not even considering offers, is the way this makes it sound. So, of course, that's bad news for the Oilers fans and us Oilers fans and the Oilers as a team, because you would think that if we, the fans, really want Jonathan Toews to fill that right-hand shot, fourth-line centerman role that I was talking might not be available to the Oilers depending on what happens with Bouchard and McLeod. Well, now, even if Bouchard and McLeod get solved in the most tidy manner, you don't have Jonathan Toews available to you. And it's not that it's a huge loss, like the Oilers won't win the Stanley Cup because they can't sign Jonathan Toews. But it's one of those things that just seemed to line up real nice, right? You think about that magical run 2 years ago that we went on with Duncan Keith. You kind of think about that, right? It's just you need that one guy who's looking for that last kick at the can, brings his best in the playoffs, does what you need him to do, steps up for you, and really makes an impact. And Jonathan Toews was that guy this free agency for us. However, he's not even available to be talked to. That's bad news, because now you know the Oilers are fully in that camp I was talking about last night, where it is, well, guess what? We got to wait to sign Bouchard because McLeod's got arbitration rights. So You get McLeod dealed up, whatever, it's cheap deal, expensive deal, whatever. You sign Bouchard with whatever's left over, and now you've got Jonathan Toews, who was a shoo-in for the fourth line center job. Now you got to go explore the market once you get there, right? It was going to be an easy thing, and it still could be. If Jonathan Toews is available once Bouchard's signed, I think you see it bang, bang, and it's done. But if he's not even on the client list for teams to talk to right now, well, that's a bigger problem, because now, right, you might have a guy targeted, you might have guys you want to look at when it comes to this free agency window right now between July and August for the Oilers, but you got to wait until Bouchard's done to figure out what you're going to do with those guys, and most of those guys probably won't be available to you by the time you get there. So again, right, I was talking last night about it, and the worst is yet to come for the Oilers. Bigger problems are ahead. Well, literally via this Mark Spector tweet today, we have gotten the fruition of that video already before we see McLeod or Bouchard signed, because the shoe-in guy for the Oilers on that fourth line right-hand shot center role is no longer available at current. Things could change. That's the one saving grace here, is when you've got a player nearing retirement like Jonathan Toews is, you've got a guy who's banged up, he's had health issues galore over the past 2-3 years. You know what? You just never know, right? He could magically, get into the gym, maybe start feeling better and say, hey, you know what? In a limited 10 minutes a night role, I can do something out there. Or he just, by July 30th, August 1st, says, I'm retired. You never know, right? That's kind of how it kind of shapes out in the NHL, is these guys are hit or miss on what they do during the summer. Right now, he's not taking offers. He's not really available to any of the teams. So currently, not an option, and it's come to fruition less than 24 hours, even though the news is technically like 2-3 weeks old at this point. Mark Spector making it publicly known now that Jonathan Toews has never, throughout this free agency, been available to a team like the Edmonton Oilers, because he chose to be excluded from the client list in free agency for the NHL. So, sucks to be us right now, and I guess tomorrow, maybe later tonight, we go over the new fourth line targets for the Edmonton Oilers. I believe Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic has a video out about that. Kind of a combo package deal of what I'm talking about now and what I'll be talking about later. But you look at it, it is bad news for the Oilers, because now you got to go on to plan B. And I don't think any Oilers fan had a plan B, because I haven't heard anything rumored outside of Jonathan Toews for that fourth line center role, right-hand shot situation as of yet. Nobody else fits the profile quite like Jonathan Toews. But again, right, there is only one Jonathan Toews. So kind of, if he's not available, he's not available. Why mope about it? Let's figure it out. And that's what we will do in the later video tonight, friends. It will be out a little bit earlier, right? It's 7 o'clock now. It'll probably be out about 9:30, 10 o'clock as I get geared up for the final day at the old shop here in this big opening weekend of Stampede here in Calgary. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thanks so much for being along for the ride. I am up on out of here.